Can you? Turn off my volume. Can you hear me now? Is there any feedback? Sorry. Now we have audio. Okay, nothing good though. All right. All right. We'll try this again. See if I can work with this. All right, just wanted to do some more testing. I thought maybe you guys would want to watch some switching and Splitrock. And I got most of the things cleaned up. I got the railroad running a bit after much work on it. And we'll start switching, and you guys can add comments whenever you want, and I will try and answer them. So this is the Agate Bay yard. Inbound ore trains come and they have to be sorted by type based on the colored pins I have in there. And I'm trying to get together 10 of the ones that are all black pins. The next shove. I'm switching with an RS32 today. We'll see how the track works. Jerry 2057, hello, good evening. It's been a while since I operated, so I'm kind of enjoying this. Oops. Again, I use magnets. You can see they've been out of adjustment here. Drew Dude, good evening. Are you guys at Michael's show or watching Big Bill tonight? Lost our feed for a second. We'll fix that. There we go. The Braves game. Who won, Nisi? Yeah, my camera shut off. Had a 30 minutes timer on there. I have to work on that. I got to figure a way to override the Canon wanting to quit mode. Red Sox are ahead. What camera? I have a unit using my Canon EOS Rebel T5 right now as my other camera. Hoping to get a more YouTube-friendly camera, Sony ZV. Heath is helping me pick out some good ones. But I'd like to get 3 or 4 cameras for my layout to do an op session where you guys can see what everything that's going on. Yeah, that would be cool. Like, my layout's got a lot of different scenes on it, so if I had 4 or 5, and I kind of like what they did at Crossed Anchors. You know, they had a lot of cameras, so you can see different areas. Right now, tech is my weak point, so I'm trying to figure that out. I want to learn how to get this OBS into StreamYard next, so I can bring on guests and help me run the show. Until my layout hasn't run in a while. Pirates of Model Trains, hello. Thank you for joining. I should have these in order, and then we'll have a chat. So what I'm switching with is this little iPhone, old Apple, with the Wii throttle on it. I kind of like it. It's very small, fits in the palm of my hand. Makes great. All the function keys you can scroll through. You know, whichever ones you want. And you want your bell or your light, anything like that on. It's got a couple different changes for the throttle. If you want it on one side or the other, or switching, you can run two. I like it. It's got a little light you can turn on there, and if you have to see things on your layout. I use Digitrax. I use that. That's because what everyone was using when I started, and I have a couple of Digitrax gurus that help me figure everything out. Let's make Nisi a moderator. That way she can throw people out. She makes a good bouncer. I don't know. What do you guys want to see in some of these operation videos? I know Robert does switching. I can show some switching. Show the different things on the layout. I finished one video tonight I uploaded. I hand built another switch. Went through that rather quickly. The custom building things. You guys got any questions, or I'll keep hammering out here? Next, it's in white. More run-bys in the scenic areas? Yeah, that would be good. I'm going to get separate cameras and place them in the pretty area of the layout. It's kind of the other side here. And over the bridges and things. Hoping to do a couple more portions of scenery. More power poles. You're going to town with those power poles. they do make a neat effect. If people, you ever seen layouts with power pole? Well, thank you, Nisi. This is all of this is hand built, and I will be glad to show you how to do that. If you have the skill, you know, you learn that for the rest of your life. You will always have really nice track work. I think I got tired of fixing commercial switches enough that I said I'm just going to buckle down and learn how to do this. And I made lots of mistakes, and I still do. But one of the things is when you build your own, you can recover from it. But I also fine-tune my engines. I have all soundtracks decoders. Most of my engines are Atlas, Proto 2000, Bowser. Nice running engines. Everybody makes really beautiful engines. But I do believe in fine-tuning your decoders to the point of when you press 1 on your throttle, your train should move. It should start going then. What are my ore cars hauling? Iron ore. But the different colored pins, there's 5 colors, are different grades of ore. How much iron ore is in them, how much silica, how much this. And they measure that each car, and they put it into a formula to load it in a boat. So each steel mill gets a specific level of iron ore that they ordered. Nisi, did I build the regular track too? No, I'm not that much of a nut. That would take too long. I like using Pico, FlexTrack, and HO83 now. That's my new choice. I like the Pico. I like the looks of it. I like how it bends. A little bit on Atlas. You pay a little more, but it looks so much nicer, and it's very, very workable. I know model riders like to skimp. Don't skimp on your track. Don't skimp on your wiring. Don't skimp on your wheels. And you'll be good. So, my humble opinion is Pico FlexTrack, then probably Atlas. Microengineering is nice. I have had no luck with microengineering track. Flexing it, it pops out of the ties, it does all kinds of things. I have had zero luck with microengineering. And that's just my skill level. So I like the more flexible and the more forgiving Pico track. John, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, John. You have a good night. Appreciate all your input. Appreciate your list. If I ever get back on a regular schedule, I hope to be on there. But right now, I'm just going to host after shows. I need one more white one. 3, 6, 9, 10. I need 10. I need one more. What scale are running HO? Yeah, this is HO. The bus lines for my Digitrax, I think they want the bus wires to be 14 or 16. I always end up looking that up. I think if you did a Google search for, best practices, you might find that. But that's very important. Yeah, I would say 12 or 14 in there, Nisi. I would see what DCC said. Well, you have a Digitrax, so I would recommend that. I'd like to do a show for you and show you, my Digitrax system set up and how I have that hooked up from power stations. I now have a DCS 210, and I got the LNWI Wi-Fi, which I really like. And I run that to a railroad amp meter, which tells me how much power is coming up. Then from that up to the PSX4 breakout board. My layout's in 4 blocks. It's not that big of a layout. So, but yeah, use a good bus wire, and you can never have enough feeders. I will tell you that right now. You can never have enough feeders. Orange. Orange, glad I didn't say orange. And that's that new car there we go. Special couplers, yes. In EC, you have to use KD couplers. I use standard KD number 5s. I'm not into the look so much as the operation ability and how they work, so I just use standard 5s. You leave the pin on and you adjust it. You get the KD adjuster tool. And so I can show you this here. Get these little pliers, and they've got a round end and a square and a U-shaped end. And you have to adjust your couplers to the right height. And you keep working at it. And I use 3 different types of magnets. These are non-delayed magnets. I have here in the yard, these are non-delayed, so you can couple up over the magnets. The big KD magnets that are delayed, your couplers will offset. And I have those in certain places, but they're movable. But they have the delayed, non-delayed, so I like these in the yard because I can just keep switching and uncoupling and switching and uncoupling. I mark them with an orange tie. And yeah, you leave the trip pins on and you adjust them. You learn to work with them. You know, learn some tools, learn some skills, and you can have hands-free operation. And so I've learned that from some of the other really nice layouts in our area that I don't want, people grabbing, the trains or sticking a giant pole down in the middle. And everybody wants realistic couplers and realistic wheels. Then they take this huge telephone pole and use that to uncouple. So, you tell me. So I use all magnets. I have all remote switches. And if everything works the way it should, you should never have to touch your train. Takes a little skill in getting it over the magnets and getting them to work. You can tell my layout hasn't run in a while. There we go. That's when I get in there and I'll actually put graphite in the springs and oil them up. Oops, wrong switch. Operator. How many freight cars do you have in your layout? I have almost 70. My layout operates best right now with about 160. That's about it. I have about 160, maybe 180 ore cars. That's all I need. And that gets me a full yard to start with. It gets me a full train of empties. Gets me a full yard up top. All the mines are stock and another empties. So with about 160 ore cars, we can, run 2-3 hours. No problem. My layout, perpetual in operation. When the cars get to the ore dock, they're actually emptied. And when they get to the mines, they're refilled. You can operate my layout 24 hours a day. It still keep going. I usually operate for about 2 hours. It's about all I can do to stand up that long. One more string we'll switch out here. So how big is your layout? You have 70 cars on an O-scale layout. What's a train size? My mainline trains are 20 cars. Oh, no, I can't do that. $14 cars? Okay. That's a good sized train. See, I always think that model railroaders want to have these long trains, and I believe if your train is 4 to 6 cars long, oops. Oscar, feeding it. If your train is 4 to 6 cars long, you can operate wonderfully. You can have a good time. You know, I do not feel that you need extremely long trains to have fun and realistic operations on your layout. I always thought that was one of the big lies in model railroading was this size and you need a 100-car train. As they save that for the club or the train show. Storage tracks. What does that mean? Is that a staging track or a siding? What do you mean by a storage track? Alright, we'll finish with the yellow and then we'll call her a day. Concrete ties. I did have a section of concrete ties for Atlas, just for fun. When I changed my layout a bit, as we all do, I took that out. I had about 3 sections, so it's a 10 feet of concrete ties. It looked really good. I liked the Atlas concrete ties. It's just that I model, this is 1969, 1970, and that really wasn't a thing outside the Northeast corridor. So when I redid the level right above this, I removed the concrete ties. But it was a nice look. I always like to look at that on modern layouts where hauling coal and so forth. Oh, sightings here. Okay. It's 12-8 Thursday here. Great video. Okay. Cheers. Hello, Ken. Yes, cheers. Yeah, my layout hasn't been run probably in 6-something months, so some of the cars that need to be fixed. But I do like the magnets, and I do appreciate other layout owners that do that. And I learned from some of the best, like Jeff Otto. Right. All right, anybody got anything else before we all hit the hay? Did the Braves win, Nisi, or did they come back? I miss watching baseball. It's all on paper TV. I don't watch too much TV anymore. I like watching YouTube. I like watching you guys. I'd rather sit down and chat, Nisi and John and Ken and everybody else, and work on my layout, work on the bench. So that's why I'm kind of interested in these live feeds. And I can do some of that and answer questions and get input from my friends. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that was here. I shall see you next time, and maybe I'll be able to announce it when we can go. Yeah, listening on the radio. I agree, Nisi, and I agree, Dan. Baseball on the radio is just such a wonderful picture. There's some just amazing announcers out there. Even AAA and some other ones, they just paint you a picture. Good night, Nisi. Good night, everybody. We'll see how this goes here. Watch too much TV anymore. I watch neutral, I watch newcomers. Rather sit down and shit. Easy to the audience. Wait for me, bitch. What's really interested in these live feeds. You do some of that, answer questions, get input from